Hello my fellow simmers, and welcome to my tiny house tour. This is my first video where I am recording my voice. Excuse my voice because I am recovering from a cold. Also, excuse the background noise if you hear some screaming kids. That's the bad kids in my neighborhood. Just joking. No, I'm serious. Okay, so let's get into the tour. Okay, so welcome to my tiny house. As you can see, I have the Christmas CC, a little bit of decor going on there. I kind of went crazy with it, but hey, 'tis the season. Now, welcome to Autumn Night's home, I should say. She was in my last video. She's cute. Yes, she is. Awesome. Okay. Now, let me just show you a bit around the yard since we're out here. We have some of the reindeer lit. CC. Yes, it's lit. And we have the Charger, Dodge Charger, can't go without that. Favorite car. Now, I'm very excited because I'm kind of obsessed with tiny houses. So I thought it was going to be a challenge to make one in The Sims, but it wasn't that hard. I wish that they would come up with an update where the staircases would be a little bit shorter, or we could have some landings where we could kind of like edit the staircases and have different sizes and such, but one can only dream. So moving on. Now, it wouldn't be a real tiny house if we didn't have some of the cool things that tiny housers normally put in theirs, which one of those things is solar panels. I was kind of surprised that The Sims 4 had solar panels and the option to like put them on the roof, of course with the move objects cheat. And I got a security camera. Sure, you guys don't care about that. But don't want anybody lurking around here. Now, the backyard, not really finished, not really satisfied completely with it, but it's as good as it gets right now. I have a little outside art studio for her. It's not finished, of course. Maybe I'll make an actual building instead of the little sculpture overhang tent thing, whatever you call it. She has a little mini pool. And of course the grilling on her deck. And she also has a garden. Now she has a folk garden right here. This is like custom content. And her little custom plant box that I haven't put anything in yet. And she has her little garden hangout and her bird feeder. That is, yeah, a bird feeder. But enough of the boring stuff. So, let's get into the house. So, the dimensions for this is about, I don't remember. That's odd. I think it's like, oh gosh, what is it? It will be on the screen, I promise. But I have a lot of custom content in here. However, I will be putting the tray file in the description box below, so you can at least download it and get the frame of and dimensions of the house. But of course, there'll be some things that'll be missing, so you'll have to put your own either CC or Maxis items in place of it, which shouldn't be a problem. So all the things like the walls and the stairs and some of the electronics, maybe, you know, some artwork probably. But as you can see, she has some custom bookshelves. She has a little TV and her nightstand used as like a, you know, entertainment stand. And she has maximized her storage, so she has the wall storage, she has some, you know, decor, and in my mind, this is a sofa with storage in it. Flips up, you have some storage in there for some blankets and such. And I'm in love with this flawless rug. It's custom content, of course, and it comes in different colors, pink and white. And her kitchen is kind of spacious. It's not as much storage as I would like it to have, but you know, this is Sims 4. It's not like a real tiny house. Normal tiny house would probably have like the storage here under the stairs, but we'll utilize the wall for her aprons. And she has her spice rack and her rack for her pots and cutting board. She has a lot of natural light with the windows and such, which was a must because in a tiny home you don't have as much you know, space, so having open like windows and mirrors and such like that opens up the space and makes it feel bigger instead of it feeling closed off and dark. And she has a little bit of greenery here. What else can I show you in this room? Oh, she has a mini Christmas tree. I couldn't find CC for Christmas that would, you know, fit in a tiny house, so there's only a couple, you know, Christmas touches on the inside. Now moving on to her bathroom. I'm kind of proud of it because it took me some finessing to actually get this to work and think of how to put a bathroom in a Sims 4 tiny house. So I was happy to find some washer and dryer CC. So in my mind, this is actually a washer, according to the content creator, but in my mind, this is a washer dryer combo because of course I can't fit a washer and a dryer in a tiny home. Like, that's too much of a luxury, you know. So to maximize the space, she has a cabinet above, and she has, you know, some storage boxes, blankets, some laundry stuff, whatever she needs in this cabinet here. She has a stand-up shower. Excuse this bare wall, I will decorate that at some point. I didn't spend too much time in the bathroom considering, you know, it's kind of tedious to try to figure out how to finesse a small bathroom, but I think I did pretty good for the time I spent in here. So she has a custom sink and her lit mirror. I'm sorry, my neighbors must be like hanging pictures or something, or ignore that, I'm sorry. Moving on. But again, sticking with my favorite word, which is flawless, I found some CC that she can store her dryer, her hair, electric stuff like curlers and straighteners. And let's move on upstairs, shall we? While we're heading upstairs, you will see that there is this wonderful painting here. Like, I'm obsessed with custom paintings, and whenever I can find some nice paintings, realistic paintings, creative paintings, urban paintings, anything that's unique rather than just, you know, the plain Maxis decor, I snatched that right up. So, in a traditional tiny home, you would probably see a ladder or some stairs, and you would have like one loft area or, you know, two separate loft areas. But of course, we don't get that luxury in Sims 4 to create such a tiny home that's that realistic. So there's one staircase, and I had to connect the two loft areas, quote unquote loft, but it's really an actual tall room where you can stand in, with this walkway here. So it's kind of reminiscent of a real tiny home, but a little luxury there. So when you first walk up, you walk into her office area and a little bit of storage up here and some shopping stuff. She went to Fenty Beauty. She went to Sephora and got some Fenty items. Shout out to Rihanna. And of course, could not hang a picture of Aaliyah. Come on, gotta have her in there. And I have an accent wall with the powder pink and some more artwork. And these custom windows are giving me so much life because there's no custom content of an AC unit. There was only a radiator, and come on, like, can't put that up there. So we're thinking that maybe she has some centralized heating and air, but she mostly tries to lessen her carbon footprint and use the windows, open them up, and get cool breezes. Now she has her little storage bench here. And say hello to her current boyfriend. He's surfing the web there. Look at him. On the other side, I am a bit obsessed with the queen persona. So of course, when I found the queen lifestyle CC of wall decor, had to snatch it up, had to put that in there. Have the glitter heart as well. And what is a queen without a self-portrait? In my mind, this is a self-portrait of her and her crown. And right next to it, she has maximized her wall space, and she uses that for her necklaces and dangled earrings. And get a little zoom up of that a little bit. No, there we go. And we have, oops, can't navigate, guys, sorry. And here on this side of the banister, you will see her dresser, which is a very big luxury item in the tiny house world, considering how can you get a full-size dresser in a tiny home without taking up that much space. So it's not really a big full-size dresser, but it's big enough and it's small enough. So under she has her shoes, she has some Fenty Pumas, she has some heels, she has her slippers, shoe boxes, has an extra little decorative pillow on top of her dresser. She has her iPad, her iPhone, she has her beauty essentials, some Fenty, she has some brushes, she has her favorite quote right here, and she also has a mirror. What is a girl without a mirror? Also, her bed. It was quite difficult for me to try to finesse a bed in here. I really wanted to have a double bed, but I didn't want to affect the space where it would not be a tiny house anymore. So in order for me to keep the integrity of the true tiny house, quote unquote, I opted for a single bed and have her little CC blanket there. Eventually, when she, has her boyfriend move in, or they decide to get married, maybe I'll do a renovation on a tiny house, make it bigger a little bit. Maybe I'll have a video on that later. But for now, she is a one-person living tiny home owner. So a single bed will suffice. I guess she'll just have to spend the night at her boyfriend's house because he has nowhere to sleep. Now, I maximized the lighting with windows. So she only has like 2 ceiling lights or whatever up here. So the windows, in my opinion, is essential in a tiny house to really open up the space, as I said before. So anywhere that I could put a window and not sacrifice storage or space for the wall, I put it there. So she has 2 on this side, 2 on that side, faux balconies, and at least 2 windows that open up for breeze. Now, a little bit more about the back. Let's put that back up. That's what they look like on the outside. I think it looks completely adorable. Now here she has some, what do you call these? We'll say flower boxes with her overhang. I try to keep everything in the same theme, same color scheme. Now I know she doesn't have a fireplace. I will work on that. I'm probably gonna have to find some CC that will be compatible with a tiny home, or at least where I could, you know, reduce the size and it would look, you know, realistic. But for, you know, aesthetic purposes, she has a little nook on the outside for storage of logs during the winter, and maybe, you know, some tools and stuff during the summer, or some extra space for different things that she wants to put out there. And, you know, we have this faux vent here, just, you know, fantasizing about central air or some type of AC unit for tiny homes. But yes, that is the tiny house tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this is a very short video, but this is just me experimenting, getting used to, you know, the YouTube world of showcasing my builds. Now, I know that I didn't do a speed build on this, and honestly, I didn't think that my tiny house would come out that great. So it was kind of like an experimental thing. So if you guys really want to see a speed build of a tiny home, I will do my best, and I will re-record a build of a tiny home. And if you would like to see a speed build of this particular tiny home, I will also try my best to replicate this home and record it. And of course, I will try to link some CC, probably the Christmas stuff, in the description box below. Maybe I'll have some, I'll have a link for the car. If you guys like, just comment in the comment section. Tell me what you would like, what you'd like to see. And yeah, thanks for watching.